This is the story of Christa Pike, the youngest woman sentenced to death in modern U.S. history. A tale of obsession, jealousy, ritualistic cruelty, and a murder that left a permanent scar on Knoxville, Tennessee. It was a crime so disturbing, so calculated, that even seasoned investigators were left shaken. A teenage girl, a brutal murder, and a chilling detail. She took a piece of her victim's skull as a souvenir. January 13th, 1995. A cold morning in Knoxville. A husband and wife jogging near the University of Tennessee stumbled upon something that would haunt them forever. A trail of blood smeared across the frost-covered leaves. Following it, they discovered the body of a young woman, mutilated, partially unclothed, her skull caved in, carved into her chest, a crude pentagram, and part of her skull was missing, taken as a trophy. Police rushed to the scene. The victim was 19-year-old Colleen Slemmer, a student with no known enemies. The brutality of the crime left the city stunned, but the true horror, it was only just beginning. Colleen was a student at Knoxville's Job Corps Center, a government program designed to give troubled youth a fresh start. But inside its walls, things weren't as hopeful as they seemed. Violence, drugs, and mismanagement plagued the facility. And among the students, dark cliques were forming. One of them included 18-year-old Christa Pike and her boyfriend, Ted Errol Shipp. On the night of January 12th, 4 students left the dorms. Only 3 came back. Christa Pike came to Job Corps to study nursing, but she carried demons within her. After the death of her grandmother, the only stable figure in her life, Christa spiraled into drug use and juvenile detention. At Job Corps, she didn't find peace. She found Ted Errol Shipp, 17 years old, fascinated with Satanism. Together, they built a toxic, obsessive bond, one fueled by rebellion and darkness. And soon, Christa found a target, Colleen Slemmer.
I was respected, if not feared. He protected me. He was probably the first man that I'd ever had in my life that wanted to protect me, that saw me as, a treasure, something good instead of something to use and toss to the side.
She became convinced Colleen was trying to seduce Ted Errol. Whether it was real or imagined didn't matter. Christa had made up her mind. On the night of January 12th, Christa lured Colleen out with the promise of weed. Ted Errol and another student, Shadala Peterson, joined them. They walked off campus, toward a remote, wooded area. There, Christa attacked. For nearly an hour, Colleen was tortured, slashed with a box cutter, taunted, held down, her pleas ignored. Finally, Christa grabbed a chunk of asphalt and crushed her skull. Before leaving, Christa carved a pentagram into Colleen's chest and pocketed a piece of her shattered skull. Back at the dorms, Christa wasn't hiding. She laughed, bragged, even danced in a circle while singing. She showed the skull fragment to others like it was a prize. Some were horrified, others stayed silent. But word got out, fast. Within days, all 3 teens were arrested. Christa confessed almost immediately. Inside her bag, the skull fragment, and ritualistic items tied to satanic practices. In March 1996, Christa Pike stood trial for first-degree murder and conspiracy. The evidence was overwhelming. Her confession, the witnesses, the recovered skull fragment.
I knew from the beginning that I would be found guilty. I knew from the beginning that I would get the death penalty.
Her lawyers cited a troubled past, mental illness, and drug use. But the jury didn't hesitate. After just a few hours, they sentenced her to death by electrocution.
It is therefore ordered that you shall be put to death by electrocution. mode prescribed by law, and she shall be transferred to the custody of the warden at the Tennessee Prison Facility. And further, on the 12th day of January 1997, your body shall be subjected to shock by sufficient current of electricity. God have mercy. Mr. Bates.
Can I please have my mom before I go?
Mr. Bates, please hold Ms. Pike in the doctor.
Please, let me just have my mom.
Please hold.
At just 20 years old, she became the youngest woman on death row in the modern history of the United States. Tatterall Shipp, as a minor, received life with the possibility of parole. Shadala cooperated and got probation. Since then, Christa's life behind bars has been anything but quiet. In 2001, she attempted to strangle a fellow inmate. In 2012, she was implicated in an escape plan involving a former prison guard and a man who claimed to love her. In rare interviews, Christa has said, "I know I did something horrible. I don't think I deserve to die, but I don't deserve to be free either."
I did something horrible that is unacceptable, and I realize that. But I don't deserve to die for the actions of 3 individuals.
Despite multiple appeals and interventions, she remains Tennessee's only woman on death row. Colleen Slemmer was 19, with dreams, friends, and a life ahead of her. Instead, she became the victim of a jealous obsession turned deadly. Christa Pike's story isn't just about a brutal murder. It's a grim warning about unchecked darkness, toxic love, and how the systems meant to help can sometimes fail. Is Christa Pike pure evil or broken? Should she be executed, or is death too easy? Thanks for watching Echoes of the Evil. Subscribe for more chilling true crime stories. And remember, evil often wears an ordinary face.